Hi everyone, let's talk about the Magnificent Snow, new expansion, which I just did a solo playthrough for, and if you're into two players, I did a two-player playthrough originally for the base game, and hopefully you see one of them before you came here, because who cares what I think, the playthrough is the main thing that should give you the best idea. Well, enough of talking you out of watching the video, thank you for watching it. So what do I think of the solo mode? I don't think I talked about very much, and the new expansion. So the new expansion, the highlight for me, as much as I love the new tiles and the new magician and stuff, I'll get to that. I love the master module, which is an optional thing. You don't have to play that. You can play it with, it's an expansion with a load of new stuff, a load of new trainer tiles, a load of new master cards to throw in as well, aside from any of the main new things. But the master module, adding a whole new turn to each of the rounds, and that might not sound like a great big thing, but when you have 12 turns in the entire game, there are only 3 rounds of this game, and you only get 4 dice per round, this extra turn that is coming, you can see these options, more options available the more players there are, but you can see these options dwindling in front of you as other players might get in front of you. And so you have to time, especially in the multiplayer game, nobody's going to take them away from you in the solo, but you have to be aware that the most perfect condition for you to be able to do these things to the best of your ability, or get you're one piece away from the poster that you really need, those things might not be there by the time that your perfect conditions are around. And do you take them now? And just more opportunities to be able to get trainer tiles, master cards, tents, as well as being able to get gems and money and new trainers and stuff. All just great, loads and loads of variability, because especially I've played 2-player and solo, especially in those games, not that many of those tiles are going to come out, so you're going to get massive differences as they come around. But just it's not as powerful as an action sometimes as being able to get an extra die would be, but that would be massive and would be potentially very expensive. But yeah, loads more options thrown at you, and the clear tiles and posters, which are they're married together, because the clear posters will refer to other colours as well, but mainly you need some kind of white tiles in there as well that offer you an extra use and an extra incentive to using clear dice, which are great in themselves because you add up their total. There can be any die that you want for boosting a particular colour that you need to, but have an extra cost to them. You always have to pay for every pip that you used for a clear die, rather than just the highest total for the main 3 colours. They give you an extra use, so rather than just boosting those things, you might want to specifically take clear tiles, white tiles, which you need clear dice to do. So it gives you an extra window for those, and especially in multiplayer, if you end up being the only person that has started to go for these white tiles, then suddenly these posters, of which there is one of the 4 display spaces, is now kind of permanently tailored to you. You might have to get a couple of other tiles in the bargain to be eligible for it, but it can be a huge leg up if the other person hasn't decided to go for those. And hi, play again, you're just going to have to imagine for yourself. The solo game, I really like that we haven't, it turns out, really played with the advanced variants. I've flipped over the player boards all the time, and I like playing with the different setups rather than everybody starting up with the same thing. That is enhanced as well with the round end cards that you don't really see in solo here, but there are player order cards that give you particular bonuses to start the round with based on your position there. But yeah, I really enjoy that advanced variant. So that goes for solo, but it's also something you can do in multiplayer. Rather than your designated starting cards that you get, you can just draw, in the solo game, you draw 6 master cards and pick 4 of those to start with. So already that's kind of a leg up, giving you more interesting abilities that you can use. But also it's down to you to see how they fit together and see and try and get a kind of tailor-made setup for yourself from the start, and I really enjoy that as well. And I like that the solo game uses that right off the bat. You need to use that in the solo. The hats blocking you off are a really nice touch as well, because that is something that's important even in the 2-player game, when if there is a big enough gap between you in the performance track, then the highest person picks their pair of Master Card and Trainer Tile, and then gets rid of a card and a tile, and so you don't have a choice as the second place player. That's a little bit of a mean thing that we kind of think don't like doing that. We still like to give the other person their choice, but that is us on the extreme end of niceness. But in the solo game, it's something you really have to be aware of. You're always, pushing yourself to try and perform as many things as possible, and it all kind of culminates in these things. You want to build on your dice to, okay, well, I can travel a little bit, but now the total's higher, I can get a few camp tiles, and then hopefully all culminate in a big performance with these great big totals I've hopefully got of one colour. I've hopefully got the money for it and not going to get punished loads. But you want to get high up the performance track, not just to perform all of your posts and things, but so you will have choice of these cards. You can kind of see, well, what is going to be useful to me this round? If I don't perform at all this round, which I might have more or might not have done in the playthrough, if I don't perform at all this round, I'm left with a card that's absolutely no good to me. I should have at least performed something to try and get ahead of the hat that's always in the bottom position. Those hats never move that are blocking you off there. But overall, as with a lot of expansions for games that I really loved anyway, just more of it is great, more variability. Not that it didn't have plenty in the base game, but just tons more trainer tiles and campsites and master cards, aside from all of the new things with the clear campsites and posters, and my favourite bit, the new master module that's, all of it I will always include in the Magnificent from now on, but master module in particular, I would like to single out as my badge of honour. It's a new thing apparently that I'm doing. It gets that. Really enjoy the Magnificent Snow, but I loved the base game, so it was no surprise. Hopefully the playthrough will give you an idea of whether or not you would be interested in either the base game or expanding it with the expansion, and I am going to see you for another game, I hope. Thank you very much for watching this one though. I'll see you in the future. Bye.